Heritage 14 is a major upgrade to the Heritage Inspection Report. One noticeable difference is that it has a large collection of predefined templates. We've expanded Heritage by adding popular templates such as a commercial template. We have a completely blank template as we did before, so you can build an entirely new report. And then we have templates for specific states that are more highly regulated than others, in that they have a very much more specific SOP or standards of practice. We also have included the page set that is most popular among HomeTrex users. So let's take a look at these templates. I'll come over to our main control panel inspection reports group. You'll see that the first selection is inspection reports. The first item in the list is my report. That's your report as you've defined it. We give you these various templates, but you can mix and match elements from different templates. You can take the HomeTrex page set, for example, and take pages from the legacy page set and add to that. You can create entirely new pages and so on. Once you have decided what you want in your report, you would save that, and here's how you would do this. If I scroll through, you'll see that some of these have a check mark and they're highlighted in blue. Others do not have a check mark, they're not highlighted. Those that have the check mark and are highlighted in blue are part of your standard report. You can change this at any time. Your standard report is what the software opens up to when you launch the software. So once you save this, this will always open to this. And let's say I want to take out the summary page, for example, from this report. I simply uncheck it. You'll see that it was removed from this list. I'll say save current setting and then exit. The summary page is no longer included in the report. The page still exists in the software. You can still go back and turn it back on. So we turn pages off and on. We don't actually delete them. If a page is turned off, it does not appear in your finished report. The first full predefined report in the list is the single family. For those who are familiar with the earlier versions of Heritage, this is the format that you'd be familiar with from that. Here I've just added a few pictures just to show how we have changed the photo insertion. In addition to the left-right photos that we've had in earlier versions of Heritage, we now have a left, middle, right, so you can put 3 across. And of course these are all precisely sized and aligned for you when you insert them. The legacy, for those of you who have been using our software for a long time, you'll recognize this as having evolved from our old legacy report. It has more of an updated, more contemporary look. We've changed some of the features to it, where in the original legacy, which predated the use of digital cameras and things of that nature, we didn't have any space allocated on pages for photos because inspectors simply didn't put photos in their reports in those days. Today, that's obviously something that inspectors do routinely. So what we've done is we've kept the basic look and feel to the legacy page set, but we've expanded this space that we have for additional comments. It's always been there, but it was much smaller, and it's now large enough to accommodate some narratives and photos. And once again, these were inserted by using the left, middle, right buttons on the photo insertion, so they'll be precisely aligned and sized and spaced for you. It only takes seconds to put 3 photos on a page. The next page set is the HomeTrex page set, or HomeTrex format. In the surveys that we did for determining which features to have in the new Heritage, which was about 2 years in the making. We looked at dozens, if not hundreds, of reports from inspectors, current customers, and what we found is that clearly the most popular report layout among the Hometrex users is this particular layout, this page set. If you're an existing Hometrex user, however, you'll immediately notice that these sections have expanded. You'll see that here's a section that has not been expanded. These have not, I've not put anything in these yet, but these have the photos and the text, and that is new to the new Heritage and will be in the new Hometrex as well. These sections now expand so that you can put your photos in line just as you could in the past with Heritage. And that's why I said we've taken the best of Heritage and the best of Hometrex, and we've combined those elements, those report writing elements, into the new Heritage. So I'm sure that this is going to be a very popular way to do reports certainly among our existing Hometrex users, and I believe that a lot of the Heritage users, based on feedback that I've gotten from beta testers and so on, will switch over to this format as well. And I'm sure newcomers to bestinspectors.net software will probably take to this format, probably more so than any other. The commercial, the completely customizable, basically blank, InterNACHI, NAHI, ASHI, HQS, which is Section 8 for rentals, Nevada, New York, North Carolina, and TREC are all continuously expandable reports as the older Heritage reports were. We also have the ancillary pages that existed in both Hometrex and earlier versions of Heritage, as well as many of our other reports. These are common to a variety in Inspector Logic, the XL Pro series, the XL Pro 5, and so on. That includes pages such as the photo pages, 6 to a page. This is what was in the original Legacy set when we first started including photos about 10 years or so ago. The 3 photos to a page with large sections for narratives related to those photos. Those are still options, and again, these pages can be mixed and matched. The invoice and the job order forms are different from other pages in the reports in that they can be printed directly without going through your normal print. You simply just go up to the print button on the page. This is the job order page, this is the invoice page. Each has its own print button. The index page for the universal numbering system also has its own print button, so you could print this as a reference. The comments and nomenclature library is very much larger than it's ever been in the past. You have lots of opportunities to add custom categories. This page gives you a list of all of your categories. You can see a number of these are set aside as reserved as custom categories. But you can see this is a very, very large library. We have space allocated for the various states and their standards. Even those states that do not yet have a standard, we have space reserved for them. We have a variety of categories for various trade associations. We have several that are reserved, but we also have for FABI for Florida, CREA in California, CAPI in Canada, ASHI, NAHI, TERI, which is Texas, and so on. Codes for those of you who do code inspections. Of course, most home inspectors are not inspecting for code, but there are inspectors who are also construction consultants and so on. Master format, 1995, 2004, and 2010 for those of you who do commercial work. EPA, FHA, HUD, IEEE, which is electrical. 4-point for the folks in Florida. ASTM 2018, which is a commercial. CONSOP 2012, which is InterNACHI commercial standards. So you see we have lots of capabilities in your library. So it makes the possibilities for reports and templates virtually endless. Now going back to the report, I've switched back to the HomeTrex report. This is a grounds page that I have worked on. The last drop menu in the inspection reports group on the main control panel is navigation. You'll see that we have show and hide contextual tabs. I'll just demonstrate that briefly. If I say show contextual tabs, you see if I come over to a photo, I click on a photo, you'll notice at the top of the screen we now have picture tools. I click on that, we have things like different frames. You'll see if you watch the picture here that these change, so you can do all sorts of things with the picture. You can also adjust color, the tone, brightness, contrast, those types of things. So I just changed the contrast and brightness there. So you can touch up your pictures if you need to after they're already in the report. If you do not want those contextual menus to pop up as you're working in the report, you can simply hide contextual tabs. You can turn those off and on at any time. Okay, the last thing I want to cover with respect to the report templates, and I could spend really hours because this is a big change in the structure of Heritage with all of the added capability, and those of you who have been using Heritage for a while will recognize that. We haven't really taken anything away, we've just added to what you had before. But one feature that has been very popular in some of our other reports is the create table of contents. What we did with the table of contents in the new Heritage is it serves a dual purpose. That's why we have it under the navigation tab, because it will create a navigation menu for you in addition to being a table of contents that you can include in your finished reports for your clients. So I'll come over, I'll say create table of contents. This process can take a couple of minutes depending on the size of your report and speed of your computer and so on. Wait until you get this message saying that the table of contents is complete, and click OK, and there's your table of contents. Now I can include this table of contents in my finished report or not include it. That's your choice. If you want to include it, you'll come over to your job setup, select pages. You would come over to the table of contents in the list. It's always going to be right after your cover. Put a check mark, say save current setting, and exit. Now that table of contents will appear as a page in your printed report or your PDF if you do a PDF. You can also use this as a navigation tool. So if I want to jump, let's say, to the kitchen page, there it takes me directly to the kitchen page. If I go back to my table of contents and I want to go to my grounds page, it takes me back to my grounds page. So there's a quick overview of the various reports, the templates, and how the new Heritage 14 is structured. Those of you who are longtime Heritage users, you'll be able to jump right in, do things as you've always done things, but you can kind of explore, see what's new in Heritage, and adapt your report writing as you choose with these new tools and new features. But there's plenty of room to grow. That's really key here, is the added flexibility and the additional capacity to grow, so that you can do a large number of different types of templates and just all kinds of new reports and specialty inspections and so on, all in one package. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching.